Economic growth is when the country's producers of goods and services are able to produce more things. The country's production capacity also increases during economic growth. There are various components that affect economic growth in a positive way, but the key factors are rising labor participation, discovery of new resources, increasing labor specialization, increased trade, and new technology. Rising labor participation is when population grows and the number of people producing goods and employment goes up, which makes production go up. Discovery of new resources is a very important factor because when new resources of raw material are found, more products are manufactured. Some examples of raw materials that can be discovered are those such as oil and lumber. Increasing labor specialization happens when producers gain the tools to make more goods and provide more services, and those occur when labor forces gain more human capital, including skills and general knowledge. Increasing in trade boosts growth and well-being. When people trade their goods and money for goods and services in a way that is beneficial for everyone, that is when successful trade is accomplished and the most valuable. In order for productivity to rise, the discovery of new processes, tools, and devices has to happen. When entrepreneurship results in new discoveries, the whole economy benefits as a whole.
Trade is an important factor of economic growth. Free trade allows countries to focus on what they produce best. This is a crucial area within economic growth. When countries focus on producing output in the most efficient ways, it will truly boost the economy. Free trade also encourages the distribution of new ideas throughout the world. Ideas within different countries can spread through the process of trade. Trade also allows for comparative advantage, which is when the producer can create goods and services with lower opportunity costs. EPA.org says that in 1983, almost all cars in China were versions of the 1942 Pontiac sedan, for which the dies and machinery had been shipped to China decades earlier. These cars weighed about 2 tons and had a voracious appetite for fuel. Sprinkled in among these behemoths, however, were a few contemporary Toyotas. The Chinese realized that if they took the same value of resources used to make one of these big old cars and shifted those resources to produce textiles and shoes and then exported them, they could use the proceeds to buy 2 brand new Toyotas for the same amount of resources it took to produce 1 gas guzzler.
The introduction of more efficient technology increases the productivity of all inputs in the manufacturing process. This means that quantity and efficiency will rise while cost will decrease. This increase in productivity allows firms to produce the same amount of products while employing far fewer people, as can be seen in this graph. An example can be found in the U.S. steel mill industry. The U.S. suffered an 80% drop in employment rate while simultaneously experiencing a 35% increase in productivity over the period of 1972 to 2002. The drop was caused by the introduction of a new technology called the mini-mill, as seen here, that allowed vastly improved productivity compared to other manufacturing methods at the time. As you can see, the firms that employed this method vastly outcompeted their competitors and took over more market share.